Walkaround family, welcome back to another video. Today we have a 2025 Honda HR-V Sport. This one is all-wheel drive in urban gray with the black interior. For 2025, the design cue is still the same for 24 and 23. On the Sport model, this is the mid trim. Below this, you have the base model LX. Above this, you have the fully loaded EXL. Starting off with the front fascia, full LED headlamps, so you can see LED low beams, which are on the outside, LED high beam, which is in the middle, LED daytime running light, and the signals is on, so you can see the LED turn signals as well. There is no fog lights available on the Sport. On this lower portion here, it will be flat black going along the grille. Also flat black, the main grille, flat black, Honda emblem up front. I feel like that should have been blacked out for the Sport, but I believe you can black that out as an accessory. Comparing to the previous generation, HR-V, in my opinion, has made a dramatic change. The previous HR-V was based off the Fit. HR-V now is based on the Civic. The previous HR-V just didn't have this premium look. That's why these HR-Vs are so popular, especially the Sport trim. Let's take a look at the side profile of the HR-V Sport. Now, this does have unique black wheels, and they're 18s, and they're only 18s on the Sport. If you get the LX, it will be 17s. If you get the fully loaded EXL, it'll also be 17s, but on the Sport, there'll be 18s. Also come with black lug nuts as well. Now, this HR-V does have a protection package on there, so you still see the wheel lock there, splash guards behind the tire, and it'll have a cargo tray in the trunk. But the Sport not only gives you the wheels, it gives you the black mirror caps as well, and it is gloss black up top, flat black down below, LED turn signals in the side mirror. I love that the side mirror is lower on the door to give you better visibility, and it may help with a little bit of aerodynamics as well. You do have the new updated windshield wipers that started on the Civic, where the spray nozzle is on the wiper itself. There's no nozzle on the hood or underneath the hood. You have the updated Honda sensing camera with the wider lens, and the radar is actually in your bumper. I believe the radar is actually right here, if I'm not mistaken. Or I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Around the windows, it is not gloss black, flat black, sorry. So around the window, no chrome at all, flat black. The pillars, also flat black. Coming along to the rear of the HR-V, one of my favorite part of the HR-V, the rear reminded me of some type of Porsche, like a Cayenne Macan type mix, but it's just a Honda, which is cool. So I love that you get this unique rear end on the HR-V. Body colored, shark fin style antenna. The spoiler, the window spoiler is going to be half body colored, and the rest is gloss black. This portion right here is flat black. You do have your third brake light tucked underneath the spoiler, exposed wiper. This is the only way you know you have all-wheel drive or two-wheel drive, unless you look underneath the vehicle. But this is an OG sticker from the CR-V, so it's cool that Honda added that to the HR-V. And the tail lights are not combination like the CR-V. They're actually full LED. So you have LED reverse lights, LED brake lights, and LED turn signals. And just look at the design of the HR-V's rear tail lights. Very unique. We don't have no other Honda that has this type of presence with the tail lights. It's actually really nice. Honda emblem in chrome. You can black that out through your accessory in your dealership. The license plate light is LED. HR-V is also in chrome. And Sport is already in black. I wish they would have just blacked everything out already as well. But I would assume not everyone wants blacked out emblems, so that makes sense. Down below, you have flat black on your bumper there, you have your reflectors. And you have this kind of, it's not body colored, but it's like a silver grayish piece to kind of break up some of the flat black. And only the Sport will get the exhaust tip. So kind of like the Civic, where the Civic Sport sedan get an exhaust tip. You get it on the HR-V, and that's a nice touch. I like how that look. It is single exit as well, so you don't have another tip or a hidden one down below. Before we jump into the interior, let me see if I can show you guys the window sticker. So you can see there, 2025. Is it clear? I can't even see. The sun is like super bright. 2025 HR-V all-wheel drive Sport, urban gray with a black interior. Base price is $28,700. Urban gray you do pay $455 more for. Destination handling is $1,350. Total MSRP is $30,505. Because this one has a protection package on there, it adds another $474. If you're familiar with Honda's latest lineup, you're familiar with their key. Now, this is their updated key from the previous generation that was more square. This is a little bit more curved and a lot smaller. You do have lock, unlock, remote start as standard on the Sport. If you get an LX, you can't get that feature. You have to get this and up. And to unlock the trunk, it won't. There's no power trunk option available in HRV. It will just unlock the trunk. You have a panic button there, and then on the side you can squeeze this guy right here to release the emergency key that's in the fob. Also on the Sport, you do get blind spot monitoring standard, which the LX don't get blind spot. So on the LX, you get all the safety features, but you don't get, well, you don't get all the safety features, but you get all the standard Honda sensing suite. You just don't get blind spot. You have to get a Sport or an EXL, and because you get the smart key, you do have smart entry. So the three little lines right there, you tap it, it will lock the whole vehicle for you. And then if you put your hand in the door handle, unlock for you. By default, it'll only unlock the driver door. If you put your hand in the passenger's door, it'll unlock all 4 doors. You can go into settings and change it where the driver door unlocks all the doors as well. You do have a capless fuel filler, so you push in to open it. If you lock the HRV, it'll lock this door. That way anyone can just walk up here and open this. You can see it's capless, which is nice. Take a look at the door card here before we get into the interior. I hope you guys like black interior, because on the Sport, black interior is the only option you can get. If you want gray interior, you have to get an LX or an EXL, which will give you leather. You have soft touch up here. I like the piano black, kind of cutting through the door a little bit. This is hard touch. Soft touch on the armrest where you rest your elbow. And you do have auto up down for the front windows. You hold for the rear windows. They are power locks, power mirrors, and I like this style door handle. I like how it looks like aluminum. And you do have some storage down below, and a little bottle holder, cup holder, and the HRV get this unique waviness too, which is cool. On the driver's seat, it is manual adjustment, so you pump this to go up and down, or push it down. You pump this guy, you don't pump it, but you pull it to move this forward and back. And then you do have the bar to move the whole seat forward and back. Passenger is the same. You just can't go up and down on the passenger seating. But jump in here, let me close up the door. It is a very muggy day. Welcome to your Honda. It is push button start. So foot on brake, push the button. Let's get some air going on in here. There we go. So the interior of the HRV is a nice place to be. Not only the exterior has been updated, they've changed the interior completely from the previous HRV. The Civic started this trend having the dash, not the dash, but having the grill or the air vent going across the whole dash. The whole piece is not an air vent. Some of it is blocked off. On the left side here, you do have your driver one that you can open and close. And you do have orange stitching that goes across the dash, which is really nice as well too. You can see right there and goes all the way over there. Down below that, you do have a little coin chain storage type thing going on here. Some blank buttons, and then you have traction control on and off. And then if you want to pop the hood, the lever is right down there. And the Sport don't get Sport pedals like the Civic, but they give you standard pedals, standard dead pedals. On the steering wheel is leather wrapped. So if you get an LX, the steering wheel will be the polyurethane material. If you want the nice leather, you have to get a Sport or a EXL, and it is orange stitch as well. Piano black finish right here in the middle of the steering wheel, kind of cuts around here as well, around the controls. Behind the steering wheel, you do have your light switches here, so off, auto, parking, and on. No fog lights. On the right side, you have your wipers. You have off, intermediate, low, high, and then off, intermediate, on for the wiper in the rear. On the steering wheel itself, you do have some media controls. So you have next track, previous. You have source, so you can quickly cycle between AM, FM, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You have your volume toggle here. You have a home button that controls the screen here. And from here, you have a few options. Let me see if I can give you guys an idea. So you have settings. Here you can change like door settings, safety feature settings, keyless access settings, like lighting settings. Most of the customization will be in the screen. If you get an EXL, most of the customization will be in the touchscreen and not in this driver screen. LX Sport will be this design. Gauge display, you have warning, range and fuel, which everyone prefer to leave it on so you can see how many miles you have left on your tank and what you're averaging. I'm gonna reset the trip because that's not accurate. Let's go back to home, speed and time for the engine. Are you waking up to drive? If you get an all-wheel drive, you can pay attention to how much power you're using in the front wheels and how much is splitting off to the rear wheels, which is cool. Who have their seatbelts on. You do have maintenance or oil life. It's 100% right now. And you have your safety features. So here you can turn on and off road departure mitigation, blind spot monitoring, collision mitigation braking system. And you can have no contact, which shows nothing, brightness, And we start all over again. Let's leave it on range and fuel, just in case somebody want to test drive. That's the first thing they see. Now it is just like the Civic, where it's half digital, half analog. The Civic, the CR-V, a touring Civic will have full digital, but the full digital is not available on the HR-V currently. Also not available in the CR-V, which is interesting. But you do have a digital speedometer, or you have your normal needle there for your speedometer, and then that's customizable as well. The steering wheel, you can adjust it up and down. You put this lever down, and then you can pull it, in and out, or you can go down and up as well. It's not power, but at least they give you an adjustment. And see, I made me drop the keys. So coming along to the touchscreen display here. So on the LX and Sport, it'll be this, I believe it's a 7-inch display. If you go up to a EXL, you get a bigger 9-inch display. But you still get buttons and knobs, so your volume, tune, and this touchscreen at the same time. Next track, previous, you have phone, AM, FM for your radio, Bluetooth, USB. You have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. And on the LX and Sport, you do have to plug your phone in to have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. If you go up to the EXL, that gives you the 9-inch screen. It'll be wireless, and you have your back keys and menu. And coming along below the long sea of vents over here, you do have your climate control. The Sport will be single zone. You get dual zone if you go up to an EXL. And the Sport will give you heated seats, high, medium, and low for the driver and passenger. That's something you cannot get on the LX. And you do have auto climate control, fan speed, and your modes. Also air circulation, front defrost, rear window defrost, and heated side mirrors, which you also can't get on the LX. AC on and off, super simple. It's not just on the screen, it's buttons and knobs, easy to use. Below that you have some storage. You do get one USB-A that's up front here. Can fit decent sized cups in there. Your shift knob is leather wrapped, just like the steering wheel. You have park, reverse, neutral, drive. S is going to be for S mode, and L is going to be for low mode. S mode will give you a more better acceleration, and it uses engine braking when you take your foot off the gas, which is cool. Low will give you a lot more aggressive engine braking going up or down a hill. The orange stitching you can see in the boot and just all around here is unique to the Sport, which is a nice touch. You do have your drive modes here. You have a toggle. So let me zoom in here and show you guys. You have normal, where the toggle, there you go. Normal, econ, and snow are your different drive modes you can choose. And below that, you do have a downhill cruise control. You can set this up to 12 miles per hour. Here's your parking brake. Hold the brake and pull up the lever. And you have brake hold, where you can have the vehicle in drive, and when you're at a stop, take your foot off the brake. The car won't move until you give it gas or until you turn off this feature. The armrest is soft, not too soft, but it's soft, orange stitched. And the cubby is much bigger than the previous HRV. The previous HRV, you can barely fit a Game Boy in there. Like, I don't know what they were thinking with the size of that previous one, but this one is actually really nice. And you do have a glove box. It's not lockable, but it is damp, so open slowly, not lined with felt, but it is a bin style. I also want to show you the seat design. The driver's seat is just like this. The fabric that they use is very durable. It feels breathable. Unique orange stitching. You have this pattern right here in the middle. It's a nice place to sit. Above your touchscreen display, you do have your rear view mirror. It's not auto dimming. I believe it's auto dimming on the EXL, but the LX Sport, no auto dimming. You have to flip it. You do have LED lighting throughout the whole cabin, which is nice. It's a nice touch. And your headliner is black. Here's your visor, and you do have a light in there. It's not LED, but you do have a traditional light bulb in there. Same thing on the passenger side. So we'll jump out of here and let's get into the second row. Before we get in the second row, look at urban gray. It's overcast right now, so I can't really show you guys how it really looks in the sun, but urban gray is a very popular color. Either you hate it or you love it. There's no in between. I've had a lot of customers of like, oh, that's primer gray, or it reminds them of cement, or it reminds them of an unfinished car. And then everyone else is like, that's a cool, unique color. I like it. I don't think HRVs have a bad color that I don't like. So on the rear door, you have hard touch up here, hard touch up here, slightly soft touch where you rest your elbow. It's not as soft as the driver. You do have your door handle, window switch, orange stitching on the door, and you have space for a bottle holder, and you get more of that waviness that's up front as well. And let me actually take this plastic off so you guys can see. Orange stitch follow the rear seats. You can still have the same unique design, which is nice. Now I do have the driver's seat all the way back, so I can show you guys the interior up front. So let me move it up a little bit. I'll probably move it up to see where I'll be sitting. Probably like right here. Okay. Getting back into the back seat. Let's sit back here. Close the door up. So sitting behind the driver, no map pocket, but you do have one behind the passenger. And there's no air vents, no plugins, just storage. That's pretty much it. Show you guys the cockpit. It's a nice place to be in the interior. And the black on Hondas is almost like charcoal. They're not like jet black. I don't know if the camera can give you guys an idea, but black interior on the Hondas is always like a charcoal black in my opinion. It's never just black. So a lot of people that don't want black interior, they like, no, I don't want to look at it, and then they look at it in person like, you know what, it's not even that black. One thing that is unique to the HRV is these rear lights. You tap them to turn them on. That's cool. We don't have no other Honda that have a touch sensitive light like that. That's actually pretty cool. No armrests to fold down back here, so you don't have no cup holders built in here. The only cup holders you're gonna have is in the door. That's pretty much it. It's a nice place to be. You know, sitting behind myself, I have a few inches behind myself. Because the HRV is no longer on the Fit chassis and it's on the Civic chassis, it did grow. It is much bigger than it was before, and your rear passengers will definitely appreciate this space back here. So let's jump out of here and let's go take a look at the trunk. I'll show you guys the cargo space. So no power tailgate. You just pull and lift up once the tailgate is unlocked. Now, part of the protection package is this cargo tray. This is something you can add to your HRV. The HRV will come with carpet mat standard. You can also add rubber mats if you want. But you can see standard carpet underneath here. But just having the tailgate open, the load floor is not too high, not too low either. You do get LED lighting for your cargo light, which is nice. At nighttime, you can see, and you have it on both sides, which is nice. And you do get a power outlet back here as well. Like the previous CRV, you don't have a handle where you can drop the seats down. You actually have to pull that guy and you can drop it down, but I'll drop it down in a second. Let me show you guys what's going on under here. So you have some storage you can store, and then underneath this guy is try to get under there for you guys. So it's a donut, and for your tools is under this guy. So you can see your jacks and your funnel and everything's under there, all in the foam. You do have to come to the side, or you can stretch through the back and drop the seats down, and they fold pretty flat. And what's nice is the bottom of the seat actually goes down when you fold it. Let me see if I can show you guys. So see how it raises when you go back up, and then when it goes down, it drops down to make it a little bit more flatter, which is a nice design. Here's another way you can drop the seats, push that guy down. So with both seats folded down, you have plenty of room back here for activities. You can put your bike back here, all your groceries. If the Civic hatchback is too low and the CRV is too big, HRV is definitely a good way to go. A lot of people complain that the HRV don't have a turbo 4-cylinder like the Civic does, but to be honest, to be in its price point, you know, the 2-liter makes sense. Also, most of my customers that buy HRV are not looking for a fast car. So the 2-liter, 158 horsepower is plenty of power for most people that's in this market. I don't think enough people are shopping this segment of a vehicle wants a turbo. I've seen the comments and a lot of people are saying if they add a turbo, it'll make this vehicle much nicer, but drive one. It's not going to be the fastest thing in the world. It is an upgrade from the 1.8 that was in the previous HRV. Makes about, what, 6 more horsepower or something like that. But I think they work well together with the CVT. I know if Honda made a turbo version, I know it's going to cost you a lot more. Well, it'll probably be almost mid-30s if they made a turbo version. In that case, you know, how many people want to spend mid-30s for a vehicle this size? That's a Honda. So that's my guess. But let's jump out of here and let's go straight to the brochure. All right, we made it to the 2025 trim walk, and not a lot of change from 23, 24, and 25, but let's jump straight to the Sport. And you can see the Sport is an upgrade from the LX. So the Sport is going to have everything the LX have, and this is what it adds. 18-inch gloss black alloy wheels, you get the all-season tires, you get the gloss black side mirrors with integrated turn signals in it, gloss black rear roofline spoiler, sport seats with orange stitching in door and center console trim. You do get a better sound system, so it's a 180-watt sound system with 6 speakers, blind spot information system with cross-traffic monitor, Honda sensing feature, heated front seats. This is one reason why you go up to a Sport. Smart entry will walk with auto lock, another reason why you get the Sport, and remote engine start, another deal breaker why you want the Sport over the LX. You do have a leather wrap steering wheel and shift knob, which makes a difference. Power windows with auto up and down, driver and front passenger, because on the LX I think it's only the driver. Rear privacy glass, so the not the driver and passenger door, but all the other windows behind will be dark pretty much, because all the windows are technically tinted, but they're dark in privacy. Because on the LX, I think it's all no privacy at all, and illuminated vanity mirrors. So let's jump in and actually build one of these bad boys. So they still come in 3 different levels: LX, Sport, and EXL. We're gonna jump into the Sport, and this guy can come in 2-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. So if you get a 2-wheel drive, gas mileage about 26 city, 32 highway, 28 combined. If you go with all-wheel drive, you're looking at 25 city, 30 highway, 27 combined. So you save a little MPGs on. I don't know why they're showing this that don't have arm stitching. Like, that don't make sense. We're looking at a Sport here. But anyways, we're gonna do all-wheel drive because that's what this model is, all-wheel drive. Let me show you guys the different colors that the Sport come in. Not too many options. You have Crystal Black Pearl, Milano Red, which these two are the only ones that you don't have to pay a premium price for. But if you get the Nordic Forest Pearl, $455 more, Platinum White Pearl, $455 more, Urban Gray Pearl, $455 more, which these 3 are the top colors that a lot of people actually really want. And interior color is one color because you can only get black interior in the Sport. If you want a gray interior, you can get leather, gray leather in the EXL, or gray cloth in the LX. So oh yeah, I choose Urban Gray. Yeah. I choose Urban Gray. And let's go to wheel design. There's no options on the Sport. You're gonna have to go aftermarket or switch it up somehow. Let's look at packages. These are, traditional protection package, HPD package, which this is actually nice. I like these HPD wheels, but I think on the Sport I like the gloss wheels a lot better. But you do get this little front lower chin piece thing here. You do get this piece right here too, HUD sticker. Oh, look, it tells you on here. Oh, and a tailgate spoiler as well, and the emblem, side lower trim, front rear. Okay, so you get one in the rear as well too. So if you want to make your HRV just look a little bit different, you have the HUD package, and then you have the rugged package, which gives you fender flares. You get a grill trim, which is okay. You get a little piece right here, and lower door trim. So this is supposed to make your HRV look a little more rugged. I mean, hence the rugged package name. I'm looking at some of the accessories. So I'm gonna start off with electronics and engine block heater. Only thing you can add on the Sport. And if you go in the interior, you can do things like all-season floor mats, cargo cover, cargo net, cargo tray, little things like that. They do have the contoured high wall carpeted floor mats. I haven't seen this on the HRV yet. I want to see one in person. But door sill protection film. I like the rear passenger window shades, seat back protectors. Basic stuff, nothing too crazy. And on the exterior, same thing. You can add crossbars if you wanted to, body side molding, door edge. A lot of things you can use to protect your HRV. You can black out all the emblems, which is cool. Fender flares, grill trim, kayak attachments. Super simple. Like I say, you get add a tent on there if you want to. Go to HondaCars.com. You should be able to look at the same thing I'm looking at. All right, so on the base price on the Sport 2025, at the time of recording, I think I'm recording this. Well, I recorded the video in June, but I'm finishing this part in July. So we're in July 2024. $28,700 is the base price. No charge because the all-wheel drive is already included in the MSRP. And Urban Gray Pearl, $455 more. And your destination handling is $1,350. You're looking at $30,505 for an HRV Sport in Urban Gray. I will end everything here. I love to speak with you guys, see what your opinions are. Drop a comment below if you bought one, planning on buying one, or you don't want to buy one, you bought something else. Do you hate it? Do you love it? In my opinion, the HRV came a long way from the previous generation. Like, this thing looks completely different. Looks way more sportier, way more premium. It feels premium. It feels sportier. 6 more horsepower, so it's not that much faster than the previous HRV. But it blows the previous generation out the water. Like, look at this thing. Full LEDs, LED taillights, and then you get that Porsche look in the back. This is a good, if you're looking for your first SUV and you're looking for Honda, this is a good way to get into the brand. If you just a lot older and you need an A to B, you don't really care about carrying people, it's mostly you. this is a good vehicle to go with as well. If you need more space, just get the CRV. Or if you need more features like powered trunk and things like that, get the CRV. Other than that, get the HRV. This is a nice pickup, especially if you don't care about speeding. You know, if you don't care about flying everywhere, the 2 liter is fine, especially for its size. Will Honda make a turbo version of this? I don't know. Maybe if more people complain, maybe they will. Me, I just don't see. If they had 30 grand with a 2 liter, how much is this thing going to cost? What if they add a turbo on it? You know, so that's what I'm thinking. But anyways, I appreciate you for watching. Thank you for watching, and I'm gonna catch you in the next walk around.